Hello and welcome to Retry Hard. I'm trying a different camera angle because I wasn't 100% happy with the last one. I might not be happy with this one either, but today I'm going to be playing Star Wars Jedi Knight, Jedi Academy, which is a bit of a mouthful, but you get used to saying it. So I think some people just say Jedi Academy. I haven't played this game before. I think I do get into a little bit in the intro, though the Star Wars games I played were mostly, the easy ones. The Jedi Knight games always kind of passed me by. So I thought this was a great opportunity to go in and play those games for the first time. And I've heard nothing but great things. Obviously, a lot of people have a lot of really good things to say about this game series. So I'm excited to finally jump in to see and just to see what all the fuss is about, really. Star Wars Jedi Knight, Jedi Academy. Not to be confused with Star Wars Jedi Knight 2, Jedi Outcast, which Jedi Academy is actually the sequel to. Yep, I don't know either. And also not to be confused with Jedi Knight Dark Forces 2, Jedi Knight Mysteries of the Sith, or Jedi Fallen Order. So call the next one Star Wars Jedi... Jedi... Luke. Jedi Academy was released in 2003, which would have made me 6 years old. Obviously, before anybody asks, of course I played this game at 6 years old. I mean, look at me. I was absolutely not just playing the first level to Crash Bandicoot over and over again because I was never good enough to get past it. Developed by Raven Software, who went on to create classics such as X-Men Origins Wolverine, Singularity, which I never played, Marvel Ultimate Alliance, and now just help with every single Call of Duty game. I'll be honest, these Jedi Knight games have always slipped me by, so this channel has given me the best possible reason to go back and try them out. Now, when I was younger, there were 4 distinctive Star Wars games I remember playing a lot of, and they were Knights of the Old Republic, Battlefront 1, not 2 weirdly enough, Lego Star Wars 1, and Star Wars Episode 3. I just didn't have enough brain space to fit another Star Wars adventure. But now, being the mature age of 24 and my head expanding to the size of Markiplier, I finally feel ready, and scared for some reason. Folks, what you're hearing right now is the sound of a defeated man. The opening was written and recorded before I even played the game, and 10 hours later, I can say that I now have finished Star Wars Jedi Knight, Jedi Academy. That's the one. I'm broken. I am empty. I am exhausted. Not to say that this was a bad game by any means. I have played worse games, but there are some choices this game makes that it drove me up the wall. Let's start at the beginning. To start off, you get the option of creating your very own Jedi, which was kind of cool, and something I wasn't really expecting. But what was even better was creating my own lightsaber. It kind of reminded me of Knights of the Republic, and that's never a bad thing. It gives you a kind of sense of ownership over the character you're playing. And this customization even gets expanded on later in the game, where you can even further customize your lightsaber, and you get to choose between having a double-bladed lightsaber, like Darth Maul, or 2 lightsabers, like Anakin before he kills Dooku. They both have their own advantages and will suit whatever playstyle you're going for. Like, if you want to be faster, then you go for dual lightsabers. If you want to be stronger, a dual-bladed lightsaber. It kind of makes you think of how advanced this game was, as Jedi Fallen Order makes similar choices with their lightsaber, in terms of customizing it and choosing if you want it to be single or double bladed. The story starts off kind of amazingly because I love the idea that there's this school bus of people wanting to be Jedi going to Luke Skywalker's academy. You get introduced to your character Jaden and your soon-to-be annoying best friend Rosh. And after your school bus crash lands, you get a brief tutorial on how the game works and how combat works before making it to the academy and meeting the legendary Luke. Oh my god! At the academy, we also meet Kyle Katarn, who everybody seems to absolutely love. It might be blasphemous to admit this, but I have literally no idea who Kyle is, other than the internet wants everyone's favorite bad boy, Raul Coley, to play him. You then get a more extensive tutorial on how to use your force powers and how to wield your lightsaber, even though you slaughtered enemies on your way to the Academy. It's in this tutorial you...
Both the light and dark sides will be open to you.
Whoa. You really see the attention to detail the developers put into the lightsaber. From the rain hitting the blade and sizzling to making marks on the wall. Like, even to this day, there are Star Wars games that haven't achieved this level of attention to detail. Looking at you, Star Wars: The Clone Wars Republic heroes. Once the tutorial is out of the way, we finally get to delve deep into what you'll mostly be doing for the rest of the game. You get sent to a mission select screen where there are 5 total missions available, but you only really have to do 4 to proceed with the rest of the game. You can choose these levels in any order you want, which is really cool, especially for a reason I'll get into shortly. Once you've selected a mission, either Luke or Kyle will talk to you about what to do, and in these missions, you get to choose whether you want to fight using a lightsaber or your many guns. Bless my inexperienced heart. In my notes whilst playing the game, I've written, don't know why you'd use guns. Oh, my poor sweet boy, you've got a lot in store for you. When using a lightsaber, you can only fight in third person, but when using a gun, you go into first person, which I actually kind of like. I thought it was cool. It was a cool change, and it surprisingly changed the pacing of the game. Like, I found myself to be a bit more reserved while holding a gun, whereas a lightsaber, I'm running in, swinging like crazy. It helps out a lot when there are more difficult enemies ahead, or maybe like a big group that you want to pick off before going in, swinging your lightsaber around like Happy Gilmore with a golf club. The lightsaber combat against non-lightsaber wielded enemies, remember that, is easy enough. You deflect and block lasers automatically. There's no set button for it, and there's only really the left mouse button you'll be using. You can use the right click button to throw your lightsaber at enemies, but that seemed to be really hit or miss when it wanted to work, or registered that my lightsaber has literally just flown through someone. So there's only really one attack button, which became the bane of my existence later. But yeah, pretty simple stuff. Run in, spam or hold the button, everyone's dead, job done. Another attention to detail I really liked was the dismemberment. Sometimes when you kill an enemy, you'll notice that you've actually chopped their arms off, which is something Star Wars games today fail to do. The missions are all pretty varied, to be fair, as well. Most of the time, it is just run in, guns blazing, press a button and then run back to your ship. But sometimes you get a mission like this. Collect parts that are broken in your ship and replace them. Which sounds easy enough, right? I'll just walk across the sand here and what the f— I struggled so much with this level that I now understand why Anakin hates sand so much, and I've even been banned from several beaches. Apparently it's weird and unsettling and an annoyance to jump from people's towel to towel to avoid touching the sand. In the game's defense, half of my deaths ended up being my own fault. You use your Force sense powers to find out where the items that need to be collected are, and I couldn't figure out why I couldn't pick up items after I already collected one of them. I later found out, without using the internet, that I could only pick up one item at a time. So run out, pick up an item, run back to your ship, and do this over a few times. This was not fun. This felt like padding to extend an already boring level. This level also felt weird to me. Like you were supposed to go there to save these merchants, but by the time you get there, they're already dead. So you steal their ship parts and bail, which very Jedi-like. After you do 4 or 5 missions, you get to go back to the Academy and get more of the main story. And to summarize it, basically some cult have stolen a scepter, yep, and this holds the power to revive an old Sith Lord called Darth Ragnos. So you have to stop them. Simple enough. After the main mission, you get to go back to the level selector screen and you get a new batch of 5 missions. Just so everybody is aware, this is where my problems started occurring. It starts strong because it's a different kind of mission. It's mostly a race between other enemies on speeder bikes, which was fun the first time I did it. It was different and I enjoyed it the first time. I did get off the speeder a few times during the mission, but then realized that there really is no need whatsoever. I also kind of find, like, a side note, I love the stormtroopers in this game. Like, they're incredible. They always say, like, you're under arrest, or let's see some ID, as I'm absolutely bolting it towards them with a lightsaber. Anyway, after this mission, I see a mission with my boy Wedge. So we start and, oh, huh, it's weird. Guess I'll just open up the game again, and oh, okay, I have to do the speeder bike mission again. That's fine. It's fine, I had fun. Well, you know, it's not too long. I guess I'll try it again, and here we go. Okay, one more time. 3 is the lucky charm, and god damn it! I tried everything to get this level to work for me, from changing my resolution settings to completely changing the graphic settings, and nothing worked. Thankfully, you only have to do 4 levels before moving on with the main story, rather than all 5, but it shouldn't be this way. I shouldn't have to do 4 levels because one of them was refusing to work and kept crashing my PC. I had to avoid this mission completely just to move on. If we had to do all 5 missions, I wouldn't have been able to finish the game. Anyway, after this we go to Coruscant, one of my favorite planets from Star Wars. This level looked really cool, but was chock full of terrible platforming sections. Most jumps require the usage of force jumps to jump higher and further. But, for example, I like to heal a lot because I'm not very good at dodging bullets, so you kind of just have to stand there and wait for your force to regenerate, which completely ruins the momentum. After this mission, however, everything just gets worse and worse. Now, each level is chock full of other lightsaber-wielding enemies. And look, I could just be absolutely terrible at the game, and it's a fair shout, I may be. But the lightsaber duels in this game, whilst look really cool, like when you're watching the animations play out, it looks great. They are unbelievably bad. I hated every single one of them that I entered, because every duel felt like a game of chance, and at any moment you can die in one hit, because there's no block button, there's no dodge button, and only one real button to attack unless you want to throw your lightsaber at them, which is mostly pointless because they deflect them 90% of the time. These duels are awful. There is zero strategy to them. You just go in, hold down the attack button, sometimes click it, and hope for the best. I've had many moments where I've easily killed an enemy and died later on in the level to then load in back before that first enemy and have them kill me instantly, even though I've done nothing different from the first time. This gets even worse when they start introducing stronger enemies with 2 lightsabers or double-bladed lightsabers. They can sometimes become near impossible to defeat and can kill you instantly. It was hell. This is what defeated me. The later levels are chock full of these enemies. Gone are the levels where it's just fun to slaughter a room full of stormtroopers, although they do come back from time to time. There were many times I started just avoiding these enemies because I was sick and tired of dying all the time. You can never tell when you win in a duel either. Stuff just happens, and at any minute they could just behead you. I found that sometimes using guns was easier from a distance, but you still had to be really careful when to use a gun on what enemy, because if that enemy is using anything more than 1 lightsaber, chances are he's going to deflect everything and absolutely destroy you, especially if you got like a rocket launcher or something and you're like, oh, this is great, I'll just shoot this at a distance. No, they're going to force push that rocket launcher straight back at you and it's instant death. There was still a handful of levels I enjoyed after this, like the mutated Rancor level where he chases you down. Again, I avoided all of the enemies, like the Plague, and let the Rancor do my dirty work, because every single enemy in this level had a light, every single one of them, and you can't stop to fight them because you got this Rancor behind you who is gonna eat you, essentially. You just have to run. It's the only way I could do it, is just run past everyone and let the Rancor eat your enemies. And I also really liked the Boba Fett mission, because that was a big surprise. I didn't know Boba Fett was in the game. And as cool as Boba Fett is in this game, and he is kind of terrifying as well, just hearing him kind of like fly about and not knowing where he is, because the whole point in this game is you have to plant these bombs around this map and he's hunting you down, and that's a really cool setup for a game. I enjoyed that mission a lot, and he is scary, but his screams were hilarious. The last mission was pretty standard to others you play. Loads and loads of enemies with lightsabers, but this time you do have backup. You get to fight alongside your fellow Jedi, and more often than not watch them helplessly die unless you intervene. And given how I've played the last few levels, needless to say, I'm now one of the only surviving members of Luke's Academy, which is why he promoted me to Jedi Knight. He had no other option. The story in the game is fine, like there aren't really any twists or turns that are unexpected. Rosh's initial turn to the dark side is predictable, as you see his frustration almost immediately from the beginning. There is an interesting moment where you can decide to either kill Rosh or spare him, basically letting you decide whether you want to continue down the path of the Jedi or join the dark side. I chose to spare Rosh because I'm not a dickhead, even though he is more whiny than Anakin and Luke Skywalker combined. Overall, I thought this game was just okay. The combat is incredibly basic. Some of the levels are kind of maze-like, but I feel like I can't judge that too harshly because it is an older game. I enjoyed most of my time with it, and it wasn't until the third act where I thought my head was going to go through a wall. Story's okay, the characters are fine, Luke Skywalker is terrifying, and I still don't know what the fuss is about with Kyle Katarn. Maybe I need to go more into the expanded universe to really appreciate his character more. Well, I did it. I finished the game. Look, it's not bad. It's not a bad game, but my god. It definitely has its problems. You can tell it's old, which I can't, I'm not going to judge that against it. That's not fair. If I was going to judge it at the time of release, I probably still would have had the same issues with the lightsaber combat, especially. I don't understand why everyone loves the lightsaber combat. Like, there's mods dedicated to the lightsaber boss fights, and they're including, like, all of the major lightsaber fights that are in all of the games. I don't understand that. I don't get it. Write down in the comments why I'm an idiot and why the lightsaber combat in this game is phenomenal and the best it's ever been. Because I know there are some people who believe that. There are some people that unironically believe that. And I'd love to read their views. But as for this video, I'm done. I don't know if I'm going to play a Star Wars game next because I've done 2 in a row. But chances are, probably will. Because I like Star Wars.